Welcome to the TDC Today Show communities. My name is Sue Roscoff. The Disability Channel, or TDC, is out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, showcasing abilities. TDC is committed to providing quality digital media production services, education, and employment programs by and for persons with disabilities and veterans. TDC offers digital media production, video production, post-production, social media, and podcast creation, production, and support. TDC offers education and employment programming, which includes digital media courses to persons with disabilities who are unemployed and underemployed. TDC also offers community partnerships. Through partnerships and sponsorships, community partners and organizations become ability champions by supporting media created by and for people with disabilities and veterans. We are your USA team, and boy, do I have a lineup for you tonight. I am so excited to bring in all the great folks in the wings. So one by one, let's go ahead and start bringing them all in. First up, we have Dr. Brian Grossman. I am thrilled to be able to introduce him to you, and let me just begin with calm, cool, and crushing it, a phrase that I've discovered with Dr. Brian. Come on in and share a bit more about who you are, what you're doing, and welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Welcome everybody from Canada and the United States listening or watching. I have been to Toronto several times, so I love it there. So I'm PhD in clinical psychology, had a neuromuscular disorder growing up, got diagnosed at age 10, left my system, thank goodness, at age 18, but it got me started on the journey of why do people treat each other differently when they can't see something's wrong with you? And then what do you do to fit in when you can't play normal sports or can't do normal activities for the same amount of time as everybody else? So I learned to fit in through drama class, through community volunteer work, through being assertive and speaking up. And sometimes it would get me in trouble and sometimes not. And then through that, I went straight through high school and college to get my PhD in clinical psychology. What has framed my whole view of the world is three things: doing substance abuse work, working at maximum security prisons, and also working with kids who test like geniuses, but are bringing home D's and F's because they don't feel they could aspire to other people's expectations. Parents, sorry. And when parents are high achievers, that can be tough. And it's all about how you feel about yourself and how you, so self-esteem, do you love yourself? Self-confidence, can I do the task? And then through my years of being a seminar leader with a company traveling around the country doing communication and leadership work, I've just come to something I believe everybody understands, but it's hard to control. When you gain emotional mastery, everything in your life gets easier. Your relationships are better, your business runs better, your family is better, you treat yourself well and you treat others well, so your health improves. And emotional mastery is not being robotic, it is not being reactive. It's being preventative and it's being proactive. So if somebody insults you, if they say the wrong thing at the wrong moment, you don't want to be the one who snaps, because just like in sports, somebody will insult you. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant were famous for leaning forward towards the person who had the ball and throwing an insult at them. And then they would hit the other player or lose the ball. They're the ones costing their team. Michael Jordan's never met the player's mother, and he would insult the guy's mother, and pride gets in the way. So emotional mastery, and I had to learn this the hard way, having a dad from Brooklyn, New York, but also working in maximum security prisons. You don't want to say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and you have to put ego aside. I remember training new therapists when they came into the prison, and I would take my arm or grab their shoulders and move them against the wall when an inmate would come by with four officers and he's chained up while they're walking. Say, well, what's he going to do? He's chained up. I'm a PhD. And I said, he doesn't care. And how do you know that the officer put the chains on right? I said, that guy can take you down or snap because of nothing to do with you. He's just in his mood because of the way he's being treated in prison. And so I want to share just three quick tips. So uh, those of you old enough to remember, it was the monster.com commercial in the Super Bowl, and they showed a woman driving up to the parking lot. She hated her work, and she put her hands on the steering wheel in the parking lot and just squeezed it and screamed. And then the next scene, you see a boss walking by the desk and he pat you on the shoulder and he goes, "You're an idiot." And all these insults going across, and it says it's time to change jobs. Well, it's time to change you from the inside out. So let me share three quick tips. And before I do, Sue, any quick questions, or you want me to keep going? Because I can go on a
I,
rant, and I know
you're
we're
all
limited
good.
with
I would
time.
love to hear the
Perfect.
tips. Go ahead.
So I've learned you can rewire. And when you change the wiring in your brain, the blood flow. So if you put your finger right behind your head and you feel that indentation and you go straight back, that's your amygdala. That's the dinosaur part of your brain. That's the first part of human evolution. And it is the emotional control center that's reactive. That's the one that says snap or say the wrong thing. But when you rewire it, here's how we're going to do it. So I want everybody just to take a deep breath with your mouth closed, up through your nose, up to 3. Now breathe out your mouth 4, slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. In 2, out 4. In 3, out 4. Crisis, emergency, insult, arguing. You walk in from work and you're caught off guard by something your kid or wife says. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, what you've done automatically without knowing it is you have calmed the amygdala and taken control. And it happens instantly. Now, what I want to share with you, you can go to drbriansays.com and get a free report. You can book an appointment with me. This is a system that I've developed that you can learn to rewire your brain and learn new habits over time. 6 weeks and you're good, but you're going to practice every day because life keeps throwing curveballs. It's how you act, not react. I want to stop you from reacting. So the next tip is when that upsetting things happen and you take that breath, ask yourself, what's actually happening here? Is it personal? Is it business? Is it just tension? What's really the issue? Because it's 99% of the time not personal. What's the outcome you want? Do you want to solve the team problem? Do you really want to argue with your spouse and kid? Is there something else going on? What's the outcome? How do we resolve it at the moment to calm it down? And what would your wisest self say? What would your wise brain say? Now, this sounds simple. It's easy to practice. It's hard to make the habit because you've got 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, for me, 40 years of practicing the old way of reacting. And so when you're in control, your brain will automatically come up with other solutions. And then you ask open-ended questions. Hey, Sue, what do you think the best answer is here? How would you like to solve it? I'd like to hear from you first, and then I'll share my thought, and then we'll come together. And you could do that with teams. You could do that with coworkers. You could do that with friends and family. And when you do, people are going to test you. They're going to throw darts to see if you've really got it. Everybody tests new habits. They don't believe you can do it. But when they see the change, Gandhi said, you need to be the change you want to see in the world. And when people test you and 4 to 5 times you react differently than they're expecting, they automatically will treat you different. So when you're the change consistently, when you have that emotional control, not robotic, hey, Sue, what do you think we should do here? That's not real. AI isn't real. You still have to think. You still have to have input. Be you. Just don't snap, because just like in kindergarten, what was our favorite phrase in kindergarten? Hey, Phil, I take it back. You can't be upset. I'm already ticked off. So, in kindergarten, that worked. After about 6th grade, that didn't work so much. And when you're an adult and you're not the boss, you get fired. That dog don't hunt anymore. And so I don't want you to be in the situation where you have to take it back. I want to help you with a simple to use system, practice daily, emotional mastery works. You will be the one to take action, provide options. And remember, no matter what's happening, there's always options. And then one more quick tip. You know what? You can be taken off guard. Ask a non sequitur. If you do that breathing and you don't have an option, bring up something that has nothing to do with any. Hey, Sue, what would Spock say from Star Trek? What was the name of the vehicle that Luke Skywalker drove around in? And they're going to go, what? And that gives you the reset. All you need is for the other person to be off balance for 3 seconds for you to do the reset. And you've got it. You'll be happier, healthier, more in control. Everything gets easier in your life. Contact me at drbriansays.com. Let's have a no obligation chat and you can download a free report. And with that, I'll be quiet. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, so many golden nuggets in there. Thank you so much, Dr. Brian. I absolutely love it. Again, Dr. Brian Says, so drbriansays, SAYS.com is where you can find more info and set up a time to speak with Dr. Brian yourself. And next up here, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Dr. Philip Mach to join the conversation. So happy to have you with us, Dr. Phil. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much for having me, Sue. Brian, that was very powerful and inspiring. And so
Thank you.
the story is that I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to help people. And so I went to medical school and I practiced internal medicine, pulmonary, critical care, and sleep medicine for over 20 years, treated thousands of patients. And it was great. I had a lot of success. And the problem was that patients kept coming back with the same problems over and over again, and they just weren't getting better. And kind of made me wonder what was going on, why they weren't getting better, why they needed their prescription, why they needed their fix. And so I personally also had some issues. While I had the success, I also had some issues. Childhood traumas affected me, and I was diagnosed with bipolar depression, ADHD, as well as irritable bowel syndrome. And being having the life of a physician is very, very stressful. And you don't eat right, you don't sleep right, you tend to work all the time. Your relationships are not really solid based, and you just keep going and going and going. And that's really not the way that you want to do things. And I had temporarily gave up my practice because I couldn't function. And so literally I kind of had to start again and trying to heal myself because the medications that I was taking weren't working, lots of side effects. And, I just had enough and I had to do something. And so I was exploring other avenues, including alternative and holistic health ways and health means. I discovered functional medicine, and now I'm a functional medicine consultant, health coach, and practitioner. And through functional medicine, I was able to work on, what I focus on, which is improving the brain-gut habit connection. And by that, by giving myself the right food and prioritizing lifestyle factors, and just focusing on controlling the stress and having the proper mindset, I was able to heal myself. I mean, my depression got better. My ADHD got better. My mental clarity was much more sharper. I didn't have brain fog, and my gut took some doing, but I was able to heal my gut. And so the important thing to know is that we do have a second brain in our gut, that there's more nerve cells in our gut than there are in the brain. And there's a communication between the two called the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is actually tied to what we call rest and digest versus the flight or fight, which is our response to stress. And so we want to balance the two. And ideally, what we want to do is we want to be able to connect that, have that connection. Our gut is essentially where we produce hormones, serotonin, as well as dopamine. And we're also responsible for the immune system, and it houses the microbes in our body. We are more microbial than we are cells. So we have more microbes in our body, trillions, and they interact with everything, and they really control things. And actually, when people say they have gut decisions, they do make decisions. You can make decisions from your gut. It's real. It's a real thing. It's not woo-woo. And so the thing is that what Brian was talking about, emotional control. I mean, I think that that's so important, that we need to have our emotions controlled, that we need to, with the brain and the gut, certainly the brain with positive and negative thinking affecting our thoughts, and how it affects the gut, and then toxins that we are exposed to in the environment how that affects the gut, and then the gut, the food that we intake, and how we metabolize everything, including our food, and how it affects the brain. So that connection is key. We can take small, simple steps. Our body is very adaptive, and we are certainly not broken. The three things that I learned were certainly that you get wisdom from your traumas and from what has happened in the past. Number two, success without alignment will eventually collapse. And number three, healing yourself takes radical responsibility, just taking small steps along the way. And by doing foundational things such as prioritizing sleep and working on eating real food with fat, fiber, and protein, getting sunlight, and really not saying yes to everything, and doing simple movement on a daily basis, you're going to get back in 30 days. You're going to be able to, improve your metabolic health. So if you need to have a gut reset, the best way to get in touch with me is through my website, livefunctionally.com. My company name is livefunctionally.com. And you can also follow me on Facebook or on LinkedIn at Philip Robert Mack, also at Instagram as well at Philip Robert Mack. So if you are struggling with any type of low energy, or if you're having issues with digestive problems or brain fog, and you need a gut reset, feel free to get in touch. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Phil. So, both of you, so many good nuggets here that that people can take home today and make your life better. I absolutely love it. I'm going to go ahead and bring in next Larry Pender to join us. Larry has been a friend of the show here for a little bit, starting to become a bit of a regular with us. Absolutely love to have you here. If you want to remind everybody who you all are. Thanks, Larry, for being here.
Hey, as you heard, my name is Larry Pender, coming at you from sunny California on the West Coast, where the sun always shines and the taxes are high. So it's a great place to be from. Actually spent a couple days this weekend out in Minneapolis, and you wear the weather out there differently than the California, so always good. I would be considered a nutritional champion. That's what I do. We represent the #1 selling multivitamin company in the world called Nutrilite. They were the originators of the multivitamin 90 years ago, back in 1934. Dr. Carl Renberg created that product, and has been their the flagship product. Double X has been a basic to nutrition ever since. And they have an amazing product line because, as you heard from both doctors, what we put inside our bodies, I mean, NASCAR doesn't put regular 87 fuel like we put in our cars. They put special fuel for their cars. So if we're going to be race car drivers in our lives and doing the best, we need to put good fuel. So I found good nutrition. I started drinking green stuff, Sue, but it's good. And the mental clarity. So you can always reach out to me. I can be found on LinkedIn, Larry Pender. I put my contact information in the chat because I'm also working with Kurt and Sue to have some work with some fundraising with these product based so we can support the disability channel, the people, because our son has, you consider him on the spectrum. So we've been through some of this stuff. My wife works with the special needs at our local school. She has done for the last 17 years. And the health side in the families does make a big difference. Even if even if you can help some, it can make a big difference. That's myself. Look forward to hearing from the rest of you today.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Larry. Let's go ahead and bring in Marianne of Waikiki. She is joining us here as well, Marianne Ambrose. So glad to have you joining us. How are you?
Hola. Whoops. Hola. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. We did a little traveling yesterday with the captain of the sailboat. We crossed the Mexico-U.S. border to retrieve our mail and renew our visas. So so that was a good feeling. And I'm the author and Apple game developer of the Acts of Kindness series, featuring 200 folk Manus puppets. The books are written for animation movies with sign language characters and soundtrack by Lucy and the Perfect Wave. And I'm excited tomorrow. I am going to be a guest speaker at the San Carlos camp tomorrow. I'll be doing it tomorrow and next week. I spoke FaceTime with the Department of Education. Actually, they're a half a mile up from me. And I'll be showing the Acts of Kindness book series and featuring ocean cleanup of the book Underwater Acts of Kindness and our hermit crab, Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, who does the ABC ASL sign language alphabet. And we have a YouTube channel with them. So I will be working with a Spanish interpreter, and I will have an hour to introduce our Acts of Kindness series to about a dozen bilingual children here in San Carlos, Mexico. So it's exciting. And again, you can look at YouTube, you can see the characters. And we're getting that out there with Nonprofit TV and Anthony and Mark. And I'm looking forward to Mark's event this weekend, August 1st through 3rd. Mark, you want to tell us about that?
Oh, I don't want to cut into your time, but I mean, yeah, there's an event this week. We're promoting. It's called Influence the Income Summit under Dr. Eric Zulli. I've been invited to speak on Saturday at 2 p.m. with some TV powerhouses and media powerhouses. Cassandra Cooper from OVA Media, one of the most powerful women in television. Curtis Ellerson, who is now putting on the World Series of Arm Wrestling starting August 4th on ESPN2. And then also Maureen Cooper Turner, the legend in the streaming business, that is part of I Dream CTV, so which is associated with Holyfield TV and much more. And my channel sits on that network with millions of viewers being seen each and every day. So that's what's going on.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mark. I do want to go ahead and bring in Stan Anderson as well to join the conversation. Stan is with the Motivational Readers Mastermind Network. Stan, so glad to have you joining us today.
It's my pleasure to be here. I'm sorry that I'm having issues with my video, with my background and whatnot, but I'm glad to be here and glad to meet each and every one of you. I'm the founder of Motivation Readers Mastermind Network. Long name, but simply what we do is our best to promote ourselves through this mission. The mission is to encourage, inspire, and empower ourselves and millions of others around the world to believe in and develop their unlimited potential and to courageously pursue their cherished dreams. And we do that by reading the best motivational, inspirational, and self-help books that are on the market. We read a book from cover to cover in our morning sessions over however many sessions it takes us before we complete the reading of the book. And it starts at 8 o'clock a.m., Tuesday through Saturdays, Eastern Standard Time. Someone is your audiobook actually reading to you for about 15 minutes of the session from the book that we are reading that we are going to completely read. After that 15 to 20 minutes of reading, we open it up to discuss what was just read and how we can implement that information in order to reach our goals, whatever those goals may be. We read books that are about principle centered and about the kind of things that don't change, but really, really affect how we move and operate in life. So I put my information there in the chat room. On Wednesday nights, we do our best to have a guest speaker that represents some of the principles that we have been reading about. Success to us is not measured in dollars and cents. A success to us is a person that's doing what their heart really has them move forward to do. Most people don't do that. They die with their dream in them. They die with their book unwritten. So on Wednesday nights, we like to have someone who's doing something, whether they have made a lot of money or not, and present to us how they stepped out and started pursuing their dream. And if we're not doing that, we're reviewing one of those outstanding books that we've taken the time to read. So in the chat room is all the information to connect with me. Thank you so much.
Excellent. And I've often said this group is so very inclusive, and it's a group that I didn't know I needed until I got there and started experiencing the great connections that happen. So that is definitely a place to go and grow. So the last one I have in the wings here that I'm going to go ahead and bring in for this conversation is the one and only Kurt Roskoff. So glad you are here now as well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely wonderful. This is heaven on earth right here when we can have such fine individuals gathering in community fashion here. And, as we continue our community's work here at the Disability Channel, our objective here is for all of our viewers and listeners out there to really feel that there's a place for you right in here with this pack, with this crew, this team, and everything that we do here at the Disability Channel. We give thanks and praise out to our founder, operator, creator of the Disability Channel, Jay Stoyan, and all of his work. He's been able to empower the work that Sue and I are doing here with On the Mark TV, and all of these gentlemen here with Marianne Ambrose, and on and on. It just keeps getting bigger and better, and to really put in its proper place that the inspiration comes from the disability community. So this is all part of our work here as the Roskoff family to say people with disabilities are truly the masters of ability. I was having meetings today where I was pointing out with someone distributing a product that that when you look at distribution, we were talking about the perception of what percentage of people in the population is a person with a disability. And, we agreed that, to say at minimum, 3 out of 4 people are out there thinking it's somewhere between maybe 1% and 7% of people identifying as being part of the disability community, benefiting from the American Disabilities Act, with whatever country they're in, the laws of the land, and it's really 25%. So in today's conversation, it was like at minimum, 3 out of 4 people are only about a quarter of the way there, understanding the role of people with disabilities in exactly what they do. It's just like driving a car. You look over to your mirror and it says, objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. So with these things, it gets us connected, and then we can lean on what Stan Anderson does with Motivation Readers Mastermind Network, leaning on best-selling authors' books, and to really dive in and get back to the basics, like the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And so with this concept, we bring out all of the things that Sue and I have learned in the last decade: global public inclusive infrastructure, web content accessibility guidelines, inclusion, accessibility, universal design, all of the things that have been out there designed by the architects of integration. And really building out equity from the standpoint of functional assessments in terms of any person's situation and how a person best can have the world as their oyster. So we are a Make-A-Wish Foundation for everyone, folks. We collect everybody's time and talents and we say, what really gets them stoked, jazzed up, what gets their juices flowing, and let's leave them in that element because that is their best way to contribute to the future of the planet. And when we look ahead, we think, what are we doing right here in this episode? As I'm talking, what does this have to do with 7 generations from now? And that's why we want every human being to be in the best condition, health, in spiritual fashion, on all counts, in everything they do, whatever role they play, that they are operating at the highest level of resonance and energy. Because with this fashion, we can squash all the doubts, like working with Mike Raber of the 100 Million Project. He is creating a 14-day event that is going to kick off on September 21st, Peace Day. So if you don't have that on your calendar yet, the TDC Today Community Show says put Peace Day on your calendar. You are going to be surprised that we're bringing back the We Are the World mantra and having 14 days of programming that is carried on the Mark TV through the other partners. With the Pause for Peace program, it's going to climax on August 4th, or not August 4th, October 4th. Hello. October 4th, 10-4, 10-4, good buddy. So on October 4th, you're going to have the 24 hours of peace concerts by youth. So youth peace concerts, youth and collegiate choirs all around the world in all of their national culture and customs and languages. It is going to be something that is just really going to make you proud of where the world is today. And we here at the Disability Channel are pleased, proud, and privileged to play our role to make sure that people with disabilities and veterans have their rightful place in our industry. Back to you, Sue.
The TDC Today Show communities. Did you catch what this community is representing and is giving today? This group, that you see in this room, the number of pieces of, like I said, gold nuggets. I keep coming back to that phrase in my head because if you want to be better physically, mentally, emotionally, did you listen to what you all heard here today? There's so much here that can improve your life. Take to heart what you've heard, share it with others. Be with us again as we continue and keep bringing you all of this wonderful news and content and such good people. So again, thank you so much to each of you for joining us tonight. Check the comments to get links to everybody. I will make sure those are all in there so that everyone can be reached. And as always, for all of us here with the Disability Channel and the TDC Today Show communities, we thank you.